evening and welcome to the Heritage of Justice Jubilee 2020. I'm so excited to be here this evening and I hope you are too. I am Deb House and I am our Director of Development and Compliance here at Legal Aid of East Tennessee. So this is Heritage of Justice and you're used to being at the historic Tipton Haynes house this evening and enjoying barbecue and country music and even a ghost hunt after dark. Unfortunately, because of the times in which we're living, we had to hold this event virtually. So it may not be quite as fun, but it's going to be fun. We have a lot of exciting things planned for the next hour. So first of all, I would like to thank everybody for joining us this evening and taking the leap into attending a virtual event, which is very different for all of us. Whether you're at home, at your office, or someplace else enjoying this event, we hope you have a good time for the next hour. But the most important thing is the reason we're here this evening, and that is to honor the volunteers who give so much of their time and their talent to support our clients here at Legal Aid of East Tennessee. Before we talk a little bit more about our volunteers and about our clients, I want to tell you about a couple of other things that are happening in the next hour that you can participate in. First of all, we have a really nice silent auction. And this year, instead of doing an auction in each of our 3 markets, we're doing one program wide. So you'll see a lot of cool different things. And the link to the silent auction will be scrolling on the screen or in the Facebook Live page throughout the event. We also have a horse race, which is a very different kind of idea. I guess it goes along with the Heritage of Justice theme because normally we're outside and we have hay rides. So think about the horses being in that kind of environment. And we'll talk more about the horse race later on in the evening as well. But I would like to start by introducing you to a video that we have showing our clients and some of the challenges that they face every day, some of the struggles they endure, and also some of the pain that they go through as they deal with legal issues. And remembering that the point of this event, again, is to thank the volunteers who help our clients every day.
America is the nation with the finest resources to resist injustice, and ironically, its citizens with a legal claim and the fewest resources are unable to afford access to justice for the protection of their most basic necessities of life. These basic necessities include legal help for things like housing, illegal evictions and unsafe living conditions, domestic violence, securing safety for themselves and their children, income maintenance and access to their benefits or insurance coverage, and consumer fraud. Can we have true democracy when struggling households have no choice but to accept injustice? Is justice for sale? For many, it may feel like justice is for sale. Justice is not for sale, but if you can't afford an attorney, you will have a difficult time getting access to it. The legal system is designed to operate with a clash of champions or 2 knowledgeable lawyers who challenge and test evidence presented by each side so that the truth in the matter can emerge and a judgment may be made. If you don't know the rules of the court or you can't afford to hire someone who does, you are at a disadvantage and you will have a difficult time accessing justice. In criminal court, an attorney will be appointed if you can't afford one. In most civil cases, courts cannot appoint an attorney. The mission of Legal Aid of East Tennessee is to strengthen the communities and change lives through high-quality legal services. Legal Aid's vision is an East Tennessee where justice is a community value and no one faces a legal problem alone. Legal Aid of East Tennessee and its volunteers challenge injustice. We fight for rights for the elderly and disabled. We fight for safe housing, and we fight for survivors of domestic violence.
I am a mother, a grandmother. I am a caregiver. I am a provider, and I am a role model. I was faced with the fact of being homeless to the point of where my children would be uprooted from the life that they were stable. And with legal aid, I was able to obtain the help that I needed because I could not afford a lawyer. And in the end, I won the help that I got. You can get it. And that's what legal aid is. This organization help people that got their back up against the wall and don't know which way to go, don't know if their kids gonna get took away from them, or they gonna lose their home, or any legal situation to where they can't fight because they don't know the law. They don't know what to do.
I am a father. Well, first of all, I'm a husband. Then I'm a father. We have 3 children, 11 grandchildren, all great. A good friend of ours suggested that legal aid might be something that we could avail ourselves of because conditions were rapidly deteriorating with my wife's physical well-being. When we were given the diagnosis and the warning that she only had a month or 2 to live, we made the decision not to put her in a hospice institution. We wanted her to be home. And surrounded by her family and friends, and that was a good decision. However, it required hospice care and nursing care. The fiscal impact of what has taken place just really set us way back, and it'll take some time to recover. As a result of all of that, I have to say that we're really grateful for the service that legal aid provides, because things were done that should have been done, were not done, but now are, and that provides a sense of stability and closure and confidence as events unfold in the future. So I have to express gratitude for that service. I know that there are others in the same set of circumstances as us, and I know that they would benefit from it as much as we have.
Think about the impact that legal aid had for just one of these individuals and the economic impact on the community by having a legal solution to their problem. Imagine over 6,101 individuals getting help last year. With the help that legal aid provided for these individuals, 12,068 people were assisted. Just think of this number. And within this number, there are 339 veterans, 4,212 children, 2,403 seniors, and 1,469 survivors of family violence. Because of Legal Aid of East Tennessee, $66 million was generated for local economy last year alone. Now imagine 32,348 individuals with legal problems during the last 5 years. These individuals and the members of their household benefited from legal help. The total number of individuals impacted by legal aid are 66,055. Now, what if I told you that they were only able to assist just 20% of eligible individuals due to lack of resources? One person can't do everything, but one person is enough to make a difference. Never underestimate the power of a small deed done in promoting justice. One person makes a difference. You make a difference. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr.
I want to acknowledge our clients that you just saw in the video. The bravery that it took for them to share their stories and the pain that they endured. That was certainly a very, very impactful video. And the video also concluded with some numbers that I want to talk about for just a moment. You saw the numbers of clients that we serve in a day, in a week, and in a year. And those are numbers for 2019. Well, 2020 is a totally different year, and we are seeing very different things in the demand for services and our clients. And with COVID, we only expect that demand to increase. So if we've been meeting 20% of the legal need in the past, imagine what it might be this year and going into 2021 when we don't know where we land with the pandemic. So in these times, it's even more important that our community, in particular our legal community, give what they can in various different ways. And I want to talk for a moment about how you can support our clients at Legal Aid. First of all, volunteer. Volunteer to do pro bono work, which of course is the reason for this evening, acknowledging those who have come before you and giving of their time and talent to do pro bono work. That's part of the story. The other part of the story is financial resources. Legal Aid relies on a number of different funding sources, grants, foundations, the Legal Services Corporation, but importantly, our donors, our base that gives so generously of their talent and their money. You heard in the video a reference to economic impact. For every dollar that you donate to Legal Aid of East Tennessee, there is an $11.21 return back into our community. And this is documented by a recent economic impact study that was commissioned by the Tennessee Bar Association. So you may wonder, how can I give? There are many, many different ways. Of course, while this event this evening is intended to acknowledge our pro bono volunteers, it is also our major fundraising event for the year. And you will see on the screen a number to text to give. That number should be visible to you throughout this event this evening. And certainly that's one easy way to donate to Legal Aid of East Tennessee. You can also get on our website, www.laet.org, and you'll see on our front page a Donate Now button, which is another easy way to donate to Legal Aid of East Tennessee. Tonight and throughout the weeks of our events, there are 2 additional ways you can support Legal Aid and have a little bit of fun along the way. We do have a silent auction, which I mentioned earlier. It's one program-wide auction this year, and we've put together some really exciting experiences and packages that you can see on the auction website, and you can find the link to the website for the silent auction on the Facebook Live page as well. And finally, we're having a horse race, something new and different. This is an idea that one of our board members brought to us. And we have worked with some celebrities throughout our service area to be jockeys on the horses. And before I tell you about who the jockeys are and about the horse race, I want to acknowledge Tammy at Giddy Up Farms in Cleveland. She worked with us to make her farm and her horses available to us for some great video shoots. And we're going to see in a moment a little video of the bios of the various horse racers. So thank you to Tammy at Giddy Up Farms. So our horse racers include Mayor Glenn Jacobs in Knoxville, Aaron Chapman of Morristown, who's one of our board members, Tony Seaton of Johnson City, who many of you in that area know as a prominent private lawyer and also a former member of the Tennessee Access to Justice Commission, Lauren Elena, a prominent country music star from the Chattanooga area, and finally, Bob Corker, former mayor of the city of Chattanooga. And we will now turn to a video introducing in more detail the racers and how you can participate in the horse race. is a competition, and you saw our great racers. So why don't you engage in the competition with us? Find the racer from the area where you live, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Johnson City, and donate in support of that racer to move their horse along the track. And make it a competition between our lawyers in our various communities and have some fun with it. If you know a lawyer in Chattanooga or Knoxville or Johnson City, give them a call right now, text them right now and say, hey, I'm participating in this horse race. Why don't you do too? And see who can raise the most money for Legal Aid of East Tennessee. And now I'd like to introduce our pro bono staff attorney. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge Tanya Richardson. She is our pro bono paralegal that supports the pro bono efforts throughout our 26 county service area. In addition to that, Tanya is the driving force behind the entire video presentation this evening. She personally shot the videos of all of our honorees and also went out to Giddy Up Farms to shoot that great footage you saw of the horses out there. So thank you, Tanya. In Johnson City, our pro bono staff attorney is Amanda Simpson. And Amanda will now talk to you about the awards being presented this evening.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. My name is Amanda Simpson, and I'm one of the pro bono attorneys for Legal Aid of East Tennessee. I primarily work out of our Johnson City and Morristown offices. Welcome to the 2020 Heritage of Justice Jubilee, Jockeys, Julep, and Justice. For those of you joining us for the first time, the Heritage of Justice Jubilee is our annual fundraising event for Legal Aid of East Tennessee's pro bono project. This project allows us to provide high-quality legal services to thousands of East Tennesseans each year. We're glad that you could be here tonight, even though things look a little bit different this year. Although tonight's event is virtual, we have provided several ways for you to get involved from the comfort of your own home. For the next few weeks, you can participate in our online auction. Dozens of businesses throughout East Tennessee have donated items and services for you to bid on for the next several weeks. You can also follow our virtual horse race for the next few weeks and place bids to support your favorite jockey to win the race. So sit back, pour yourself a julep, and post a selfie of you enjoying your saddlebag in the comments below. Thank you all again for joining us. We hope that you enjoy a night of jockeys, juleps, and justice. Now please join me in welcoming Ben Danford, one of our favorite Legal Aid of East Tennessee attorneys, and one of the most charismatic ones we've got. He will be your MC for the evening. Thank you.
Good evening. To those of us joining by Facebook Live, good morning to those of you watching this the following morning on YouTube, and good night to those of you who just can't sleep and are watching this whenever you can. I want to welcome everybody to the 2020 Heritage of Justice Jubilee. My name is Benjamin Danford. I'm an attorney from Chattanooga, and I work in the legal aid office in Chattanooga. My colleagues in Johnson City, they refused to let Dolly Parton host this event, and they insisted on my participation, so I'm happy to be here. Going to make everybody a little uncomfortable now by taking my mask off. I am very happy that everybody could join us, and I want to invite those people who are attending on Facebook Live to participate. You can comment, you can post pictures, selfies, you can congratulate the recipients of our awards that we're going to give out here this evening, and you can participate through the Facebook Live portal. Unfortunately, if you're on YouTube, you're going to have to just post selfies to yourself, and I'm afraid you're going to have to just send a good old-fashioned letter or an email to the award recipients. So without further ado, and thanking you all for being here, let's get the 2020 Heritage of Justice Jubilee started. Legal Aid of East Tennessee is an organization that provides civil legal services to the most vulnerable people in the state of Tennessee. The work that we do for the elderly, the impoverished, and victims of domestic violence, it is critical to protecting these populations, and we couldn't do it without the assistance and the support of both the Tennessee Supreme Court and with the assistance and the support of pro bono attorneys who work with our pro bono programs. And that's really part of what tonight is about here. We want to celebrate our partners in providing these legal services, and we want to thank everybody for their efforts. 2020, as you all can probably attest, has been a difficult year. And if it makes you feel better, I'm happy to put my mask on. But the pandemic has really affected our populations here in Tennessee, the populations that we serve, and it's created an additional hurdle for all of us, but especially for those most vulnerable Tennesseans. And again, our pro bono attorneys and the support of our courts, the Tennessee Supreme Court, and the entire Access to Justice Network has been invaluable in addressing this pandemic and the crisis that we've experienced in 2020. At this point, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Sherry Fox. Sherry Fox has been the Executive Director of Legal Aid for almost 5 years at this point, coming aboard in 2016. She's helped spearhead the efforts of Legal Aid of East Tennessee to address the problems and the issues that the population we serve experiences. She's been a fantastic leader, and we're happy to have her aboard. Prior to taking the helm here at East Tennessee, she was an attorney in private practice here in Chattanooga, working for Baker Donaldson, and we're happy to have her. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I am Sherry Fox, the Executive Director of Legal Aid of East Tennessee. We are so happy to kind of see you here tonight. I wish we were in person, but I'm glad we're together in what is the first ever virtual Heritage of Justice Jubilee Pro Bono Night event. We are making history, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you for joining us. This has been such a challenging time for all of us in so many ways, both personal and professional. And we really appreciate you evolving with us, growing with us, and walking this path together as we host this first ever virtual fundraising and recognition event. One of my favorite parts of my job is getting to stand before you and thank all of the many people who have supported us again this year. Thank you so much to all of our many sponsors who have faithfully supported us year after year, and for those new sponsors who have chosen to support us this year. I know this has been a particularly challenging time for businesses and all of those who have donated to us. So we need your support more than ever, and we appreciate it more than ever. Our sponsors this year include Tony Seaton, the East Tennessee Foundation, Hunter Smith Davis, Attorneys at Law, Century 21 Real Estate, and Josh Hopner, Attorney at Law. Thank you so much for supporting us this year as we continue to do this important work in this community. I also have the privilege of thanking our Johnson City Pro Bono event planning team. This year's team members include Aaron Chapman, Marjorie Thornton, Matthew Bettis, Sydney Gilbert, Karen Randolph, and thank you so much as you have helped guide us in this, first ever virtual event. We appreciate your time and we appreciate your talent. I also have a big shout out and thank you to Helms Production Company for helping us put together this first ever virtual event. We are entire newbies in this space, and they have just helped make it as easy and pleasant a process as it can be. Thank you, Helms Production Company, for your time and your patience and all your talent. And also, as part of my time at the podium today, I am honored to thank our local bar associations and pro bono volunteers. You hear me say it over and over, but I mean it with every fiber of my being. We could not do what we do without you, without your time, your talent, and your treasure. And no matter how many times I say it, I always wish I could say it in a way that would convey the true depth of the appreciation we feel for the work you do, as well as the importance of the work you do in this community. Thank you. I'm also excited to be able to thank our amazing Supreme Court. The Tennessee Supreme Court makes history every year by continuing its amazing support for access to justice in word and deed. And so we want to give a special thank you this year to Justices Connie Clark, Holly Kirby, and Roger Page for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here with us, helping us celebrate the pro bono volunteers and award winners this evening, and to again demonstrate their support in word and deed for access to justice in Tennessee. And finally, congratulations to our amazing, inspiring award winners. I am just so proud of you, and I have to tell you, a global pandemic did not slow you down in your commitment to doing the important work that needs to be done for the most vulnerable members of our communities. Thank you a million times over. Thank you. And again, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Welcome back. At this point, we'd like to thank the members of the Tennessee Supreme Court, Tennessee's highest court, for joining us here this evening. They're not going to be in your living room or here with me, sadly, but they've each recorded a message for you. Tonight, we're going to hear from Connie Clark and Justice Holly Kirby, as well as Justice Roger Page. Holly Kirby was appointed to the Tennessee Supreme Court in 2014 and has been a supporter of access to justice and legal aid of East Tennessee during her time on the court, and we really appreciate her being here. Roger Page was appointed in February of 2016 and was elected later that year, and has also been a supporter of access to justice, and we thank Justice Page for joining us here this evening. And finally, Connie Clark was appointed to the Tennessee Supreme Court in 2005 and has been twice elected, quite a feat in this election season, in 2006 and 2014. Another of the Tennessee Supreme Court justices who supports legal aid of East Tennessee and access to justice, and we appreciate all of them participating here this evening. Thank you.
Hello, this is Connie Clark, and it's my privilege to join you virtually as Legal Aid of East Tennessee celebrates and honors its own staff attorneys and all pro bono lawyers who have, during the last year, assisted people in East Tennessee to have real access to justice, to have aid in civil legal situations. The Supreme Court more than 10 years ago declared access to justice its #1 priority. We did that to join in and walk behind our partners in the legal aid organizations who already are in the trenches providing such services every day. We are so pleased also that thousands of Tennessee attorneys have now joined voluntarily to add their voices and to add their service. It's amazing what you can do to change the life of a Tennessean and sometimes their entire families by helping them with insurance needs, with obtaining benefits, sometimes with simply filling out forms or understanding court processes. And so know that the court sees what you do. We love what you do. We appreciate what you do. And we thank you so much for the job you have done this year. Have a happy celebration.
Hello, I'm Holly Kirby on the Tennessee Supreme Court. I am recording this for you in the midst of a global pandemic, and Tennessee is in the center of that pandemic. In a situation like this, our citizens feel isolated, they feel abandoned, they have all the same legal problems that ever arose, but they have much less access to help, to anybody to talk to anybody to even understand their problems. The work that you do is so important so that our citizens know that there are people to help them. We are part of their safety net. We on the court are so appreciative of everything that you do. It's important not only to our legal community and our justice system, it's important to our state and to our nation. Thank you for all that you are doing.
This is Justice Page in Jackson. I'm very honored to be with you today. This will be the 5th time I have talked to the people in East Tennessee about access to justice and the Attorneys for Justice Awards. I've done it twice in Tri-Cities and twice in Chattanooga, and 50 hours of pro bono service doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is, and the court appreciates your efforts. I am honored to be part of Supreme Court that places so much emphasis on access to justice. All five of us are truly passionate about it. I can relate to my own experience and how rewarding it was to be paid in gratitude and not in money. And I do recall one time when I got a chocolate pie, but all attorneys benefit from doing access to justice work and pro bono work. You get to go to different courts and find out about different local rules, develop new skills, all the while helping others. And we're all doing the best we can in this pandemic. Congratulations to all of our attorneys for justice. I sure hope I can be with you in person next year.
All right, welcome back. Thank you to the Supreme Court justices. And at this point in the evening here, we're going to get to the reason that we're here. It's the awards ceremony. To present these awards, I'd like to introduce Deborah Yeomans Barton. Ms. Yeomans Barton is the managing attorney of the Johnson City office of Legal Aid of East Tennessee. She's been with Legal Aid since approximately 1989. I'm not sure our records go back that far, but she's been a valuable member of our team. She represents a variety of different clients in matters as diverse as bankruptcy, divorce, child custody, and tax and housing issues. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ms. Yeomans Barton.
My name is Deborah Yeomans Barton. I'm the managing attorney of Legal Aid of East Tennessee in the Johnson City office. Each year, we give the Access to Justice Awards to people who are deserving of that honor. The Access to Justice Awards are given to individuals who have made efforts to increase access to justice in the areas served by Legal Aid of East Tennessee's Johnson City and Morristown offices. The Access to Justice Award is not necessarily focused on specific pro bono work, but rather the overall efforts of individuals to improve access to justice members of the community. This year, we have 3 recipients of the Access to Justice Awards. The first recipient of the Access to Justice Award regularly accepts referrals from Legal Aid and has handled 15 cases since last year at our Jubilee for Justice. She is at every clinic we have and is usually one of the very first ones to respond to emails for assistance. The Access to Justice Award goes to Marjorie Thornton from Hanner Law Firm. Marjorie?
Hi, thank you so much for the Access to Justice Award. I'm very honored. I'm very happy to be a part of Legal Aid of East Tennessee and help out. My practice primarily focuses on corporate clients, so I enjoy pro bono work. It gives me a chance to work with real people with real issues, and I really, really appreciate that opportunity and that I can give back to the community as well at the same time. It's a great, great feeling. I thank Legal Aid for all that they do. They're a great organization, so I'm very excited for the award. Thank you so much.
Our second Access to Justice Award, he has accepted 13 cases since our last Jubilee for Justice, the second most of any referrals from the Johnson City office. He regularly assists us with wills, advance directives, and powers of attorney. The Access to Justice Award is presented to Eric Zetterberg from Inslee, Baker, and Shade. Eric, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you, Devin. It's an honor to be receiving this award. I genuinely enjoy being able to serve those who may not otherwise have access to estate planning services. It gives me great pleasure to be able to help those who may not even know they need estate planning and to help them to understand their documents and why they're necessary. I also want to thank Legal Aid of East Tennessee for creating such great opportunities for attorneys in our area to serve those in our community.
And our third and final Access to Justice Award this year goes to an attorney who handled 8 cases for Legal Aid of East Tennessee since our last Jubilee for Justice. He has been a huge part in helping keeping our pro se divorces alive and well during our COVID-19 crisis. He's always willing and able to offer a hand to help us with cases whenever we need it. And that award goes to Matt Bolton from Herndon, Coleman, Brading, and McKee. Matt, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you very much to Legal Aid for awarding me this Access to Justice Award. This is totally unnecessary, but very much appreciated. I've been involved with various legal aid issues since I started practicing in probably 2006, and it is by far one of the most rewarding things that I do in my practice. It is always a pleasure to assist, and I'd say it'll be something that I'll always be available to help with. Thank you.
I want to present today the Above and Beyond Award. The Above and Beyond Award is given to an attorney each year who has gone above and beyond in their service to Legal Aid of East Tennessee, and our clients who are in this area who are served by our Johnson City and Morristown offices. The Above and Beyond Award can be volunteer service based on clinic participation, support of access to justice, cases handled, the creation of a new project, etc. This year, our Above and Beyond attorney has handled 12 cases from Legal Aid of East Tennessee since the last Jubilee for Justice. She has been a crucial part of keeping our pro se divorces moving forward while we have been unable to do divorces during COVID-19. I would like to present the Above and Beyond Award to Ms. Jessica Newhart.
I just want to say thank you to Legal Aid of East Tennessee for giving me the opportunity to work with the public in the ways that I've really enjoyed over the past 12 months. The work that they do is really amazing and important, and I just want to thank them for the connections that I've been able to make during that time. Thank you very much.
The next award is for the Tony Seaton Pro Bono Hall of Fame. A couple of years ago, we established the Tony Seaton Pro Bono Hall of Fame, named after Tony Seaton, the attorney here in Johnson City, who has done pro bono work for legal aid as well as the community for many, many years. He established in Washington County, the first clinic that meets monthly to help people who need assistance, and lots of times they're people that we can't assist. He has been on the Access to Justice Committee through the AOC, and he regularly gives and supports people in the community who need legal aid. This year is an honor and a privilege to introduce the person who's being inducted into the Tony Seaton Hall of Fame. She has worked with legal aid for years. She is always the first to say, I will do what I can, call me. She's always here when we need her. She's always willing to do anything that we ask her to do. She established one of the family justice centers in the area. She started from ground zero, and now it is a thriving family justice center in Bluntville, Tennessee, called the Branch House. Once she finished with that job, we were fortunate enough to be able to hire her here at Legal Aid. She was an attorney who did domestic violence cases and did them very, very well. Unfortunately, her husband took another job and she had to leave us. But during the time that she was here in the Kingsport area and the Johnson City area, she assisted multiple people through her pro bono efforts. She did divorce clinics, she did divorces, she did any kind of work that needed to be done that we needed. She was right there ready to do it at any time. So it is with great honor and privilege that I introduce our Tony Seaton Pro Bono Hall of Fame inductee this year, Karen Boyd.
I am so honored and humbled to be nominated into the Seaton Hall of Fame. Working with Legal Aid for the 7 years that I was in Tennessee, first as a volunteer attorney and then as a staff attorney, was an honor in and of itself. The work of Legal Aid is so important, and being able to work beside attorneys who share that passion and the commitment to working with people who don't have the same access to attorneys and maybe to the court system as people who are better situated in our community really meant a lot to me. And it was so inspiring to see the attorneys, both that volunteered with legal aid programs and the attorneys and employees of legal aid. I am so thankful and appreciative for this award and just for being recognized for doing something that is so fulfilling and so important.
So I've been asked to make some comments about the importance of pro bono work. And, you know, it dawned on me when I very first started practicing law 40 years ago that we needed to give back to the community at some point in time. When I first started, we would do what's called Queen for a Day in a general sessions court. We would represent whoever came through that court. And we would do that once a month or once every couple of months. And it was a very rewarding program. And so later on in my years, it dawned on me, I always had a dream that I'd like to do a free legal advice clinic. And so 13 years ago, that dream came true. And it came true primarily because of folks like you all who were willing to give and who were willing to come together and who realized the need and who weren't selfish with their own time. You know, getting a law degree is huge. And it bestows upon us a lot of responsibility. And most of us take that responsibility greatly. When we started the legal clinic, again, 13 years ago, we would have 6 to 8 lawyers and we would see 40 to 60 people a month. COVID has changed a lot of that. And that's a shame because the needs are still there. We're still trying to do a telephone clinic. But not only are the legal clinics important, but all of the pro bono work that's being done. And there's no better organization that coordinates all of that pro bono work other than Legal Aid of East Tennessee, because they go to Legal Aid. Legal Aid, as we all know, is not funded the way it needs to be funded. They could probably use 4 times the budget that they have right now. So as a result, they've got to reach out to us in private practice and hope and pray that we'll be out there and be available to the other folks that need the services. But again, after establishing ours for 13 years, well, I'm gonna say probably after about 3 to 4 years, the Tennessee Supreme Court came up with the Access to Justice Commission and the Access to Justice Program. And it was amazing to rub shoulders and elbows with all the Supreme Court justices and how dedicated that they were. And then you go down to the appellate judges and to the circuit judges, the chancery. They all know the need and they're all begging to get help because these people are coming into court. They have no way of understanding or no way of representing themselves. And the courts have to reach out to us to do those things. So it's been an extremely rewarding experience for me. But most importantly, I've been rewarded by the fact that you folks have all dedicated your time and effort to pro bono work. Thank you.
We are so grateful for the dedication this year's award winners have shown to Legal Aid of East Tennessee and the Pro Bono Project, and for the support we have been given by others throughout East Tennessee. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without each and every one of you. As we wrap up tonight's events, I want to take this time to remind you about the horse race. Our horse race platform is available online and will continue running through November 13th. Please take some time to follow the race and our Northeast Tennessee jockeys, Tony Seaton and Aaron Chapman. Your bids will help push them around the track and beat all of the other jockeys. Also, please don't forget about the online auction. Businesses all throughout East Tennessee have donated some great items and great services this year. We are so grateful for the giving nature of businesses in our area, even when times are tough. The auction platform will also be available through November 13th. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed our night of jockeys, juleps, and justice. Please finish up your mint julep and sweet treat as I once again pass the mic to Ben Danford. Thank you.
Well, folks, I want to thank everybody for participating and attending our 2020 Heritage of Justice Jubilee. I want to thank all of the participants that presented to you here tonight. I especially want to thank the Tennessee Supreme Court justices and Tony Seaton for being here this evening. And I want to congratulate all of the awardees on receiving their awards and thank them for their efforts on behalf of our clients and the populations that we serve. Again, the virtual event has been a little bit different, and I apologize that we didn't have any virtual barbecue or virtual hay rides or ghost tours, but we'll get back to real life here soon enough, and we look forward to working with you to help serve our most vulnerable populations here in East Tennessee in 2021. Hopefully we'll be able to get away from these masks a little bit, and we can get back to life as it once was. We do appreciate everybody for participating here this evening. We want to thank you for your time, and we want to thank all the people at Legal Aid and throughout Tennessee that made this evening possible. But especially we want to thank our pro bono attorneys and the supporters of Legal Aid of East Tennessee, without whom none of this could be possible. So thank you, and have a good night, and stay safe.